so good. Oh, Cali, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could?
Is it just me or are the people outside the window walking in time to this song? Did you notice that?
It did look like they were in rhythm.
Look at see, 1, 2, 3. There it goes. 1, right, left, right. See him?
Yeah. They hear it out there.
I know. It's time for Ocala Magazine Radio. Kelli, Hart is in the studio. We're amusing ourselves because the music is outside the window and the people seem to be walking in time to it. Next time I see somebody, I'll put the music back on.
Yeah, well, I don't think you realize when you hear music that your body
maybe
kind of
that's it. They don't realize.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, get this guy.
Let's see. Right, left, go. See?
He was kind of even shaking a little bit.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Good morning.
Are you excited? This is now. You can't say now. It's too early. It's time. You can start to say holidays, Merry Christmas,
sure,
everything.
Yes, yeah. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
How many trees do you typically have in your house? And forgive me if I offended you with asking, because some people don't like the tree thing.
Oh, I love the tree
You like
thing.
the Christmas tree. So how many do you typically have?
One.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But you've known people who've had more than one, right?
My mom has like 12.
12?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. A couple full-size ones.
She has
one on her front porch. She has one in her bathroom. Some of them, are only maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, but they're all over the place. Okay. And every year, I think she gets another one. No, some are artificial and some are real, and so she goes all out.
Do you have a favorite type of a real one? I guess that's the question.
I do have a favorite type, but I don't know the name of it.
It's the kind you get from the Carolinas. That's what I always know.
The one with the skinny, not all the pine needly ones, but the one that has the little tiny, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Jeez,
is it blue-greenish?
It is, yeah.
It's blue-greenish,
it's a little more pale in color.
Yeah.
It
I like
sheds
that
a
one.
lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do have my favorite kind. And I always like to buy the one that maybe would get overlooked otherwise, the little Charlie Brown tree.
Yeah.
I have this thing. I'm like, oh, that tree's not going to have a Christmas.
Did you ever go to one of the tree farms and cut one down?
I've never gone to a tree farm.
You know whose parents used to own was Kurt Kelly's mom and dad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to go there when Alex was little. I had no idea who they were.
Where was it?
The Kellys. Do you remember where Mark III, the van conversion place was? Yeah. On that road.
So it was here. It was local.
Yeah.
So Christmas trees can grow in Ocala?
Well, yeah. I think they're called sand pines.
Oh.
And I used to get them. You take a saw. It was the experience of going out with a saw.
Sure.
Finding a tree and cutting it down, and then you bring it back and Kurt, before he was a politician,
I didn't know.
Just a young guy, he would be shaking the tree and getting all the needles out of it.
I wonder why we never went to do something like that.
Those needles out of that. I don't know if we still have one or not. I don't think they do it anymore. But
growing up, we would alternate. We would have the real tree for a little while, and then my mom would get aggravated having to constantly vacuum and all the shedding needles. And then we did artificial. Artificial was kind of the thing for a while. And then you would have to match up, all the red pegs go in the red, and so that was kind of like my job.
Okay.
Until after a few years of using the tree. Well, it was kind of fun, but then after a few years of using the tree, the little color things fall off or break off.
So then you didn't know where they went.
Like, what the heck?
Where's Tabago?
Right. So you've got this tree that's got this one branch that's 4 feet long at the top, and so my mom was just like, okay, you're fired. Help your dad untangle light. So I moved on to a different job. But
which is terrible, the untangling lights.
It is the worst job ever. It is, yes. My dad agrees. He would just rather trash them and buy
just get new ones. Well, they're cheap enough.
Here, I know.
And who came up with this idea? One bulb goes and the whole thing is gone. And then you got to figure out which one it was.
I'll tell you, the people that sell the lights.
Why would they do this?
Because they make a fortune.
Nothing else works this way.
It's the worst.
No other electronics work.
Yeah.
Can you imagine one bulb goes out in your house and the whole house is dark? You got to figure out which one went out.
If you want to blow the Christmas spirit,
right?
Let one of those bulbs go out. And at my parents' house, where my dad's taking that one spare bulb, the tester, and he's going through every one. It's just like, leave him alone. Yeah,
I know. There's got to be somebody laughing, saying, I can't believe they bought into this idea. Of
course, yeah. If you ever want to make someone mad and you're in their home, pull one bulb out of their Christmas tree when they're not looking, and it'll blow their whole Christmas spirit.
But then you know what happens. The guy says, don't worry, it came with a spare.
Sure.
Because
Good
they
luck
usually
finding that thing. Where do you keep those things?
And the spare fuse.
Oh, yes.
Remember the little tiny fuses? They probably still sell them.
I'm sure that they do.
The little tiny fuses that came with your Christmas lights.
I'm sure that they do.
Was it a light bulb that blew, or was it the fuse?
Who would know?
I don't know. Let's test it.
And they don't even make all the little receptacles the same size. Have you seen this? So
I know.
Yeah, so you have this strand of lights, and then you think, oh, great, a spare bulb, and then you go to plug it in, and it doesn't match.
And good luck
and
asking...
you're trying to shove it in there, and you're like, no, this is going to work. No.
And good luck asking the Walgreens girl for help.
Oh.
She's as lost as you are.
Right. Of course. She's like seasoned help. She doesn't even want to be there.
IC3 is what I always hear. When I go to Walgreens, I'm standing in line, IC3.
Well, I will say that we do the lights, we do the real tree, and it's as aggravating as anybody else. But I was talking to Linda the other day, and there is a new thing called Bliss Lights. Have you heard
I don't know what that is. No.
It is amazing. You'll have to Google it. It's Bliss Lights, and it's basically just one stake with this projector type thing on it that you can stick into the ground outside, and it covers like a 4-car garage size space, and it looks like little twinkling lights. And if you aim it at a tree and the wind blows, it looks like almost like snow. And I mean, think about it. Stick it in the ground, plug it in, boom, you're done. You're done with your lights.
It's a projector.
And they have them for indoors too.
It's like what we use in music. We use lights like that.
So you could plug it in the wall, put it in front of your tree.
Must be lasers.
It looks like you have...
If it's still bright enough by the time it reaches the surface.
Right.
Outdoors, especially.
Sure. Well, I was reading reviews online, and the further away it is from the building, obviously, the least dramatic it is.
Really?
But they are the new thing, and they're quite expensive.
Do you have somebody in your neighborhood that goes all out? Then puts more into it than
not
Disney?
Really. Not really. I mean, this will only be my second Christmas in that neighborhood, and people kind of come and go. There's a lot of people that are homeowners there, and there's a lot of renters. So every year it kind of changes, and but nobody that really goes all out.
Nobody. Okay. You do have a phone call.
Oh, really? Okay.
Good morning. You're on the air with Kelly.
Hi. Good morning.
Are you there? Going once, going twice. Let me try another one.
It's probably the Christmas light company mad that we were blowing their cover on the light scandal.
Good morning, you're on the air. Maybe it's the girl from Walgreens.
Maybe, oh God.
She got annoyed. I know those lights. Don't tell anybody I don't know those lights.
Good morning.
Happy day before light up. Let's hope it don't rain, and I'm looking forward to seeing Larry and Robin down there tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Say, I just want to make a comment. You know, in the last several years now, these icicles that hang from gutters have been very popular when they light up, at night.
Yes.
But you know what really irks me? People leave them up all year around, and it can be in the middle of July or something, or August, and you're driving through a subdivision, and somebody in the house hit the wrong switch, and these icicles are all lit up,
Yeah, there are a lot of people that will put their lights up. I guess they feel like it's such an effort that they'll just leave them up year round.
Maybe it's an effort, too, to kind of feel cooler during the hot
But then it's not
like,
special.
Look out the window or whatever and see those ice cubes hanging there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm with you on that. I think you should enjoy it for the season and then pack it up.
It's like Christmas coffee. It's so good, but at the same time, if it was out all year long, it wouldn't be special.
Yeah, it's like eggnog in the summer. Who wants it?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a good holiday.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you, Hugh. I don't even know. What were you planning on talking about today?
Well, I'm going to talk about homelessness after our break.
Homelessness?
Yes.
Oh, after we have the happy talk.
The happy talk about lights. Yeah, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to bring it way down.
We talk about the reason for the season is to give, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that ought to be enlightening.
Okay. So you want to take our break, or do you want me to...
Well, we have like 18 seconds now.
Oh, okay. Should I sing for 18 seconds?
Do you want to sing?
No.
Or should we get the guys outside?
Absolutely not.
See if we can get them to dance to your song. Ready? See if we can get them to dance.
They have three.
See if we can get her to move. Here we go. Here we go. Watch.
She doesn't even look.
Ocala, baby. What makes you
Look, everybody's on their phone.
I don't even know if they can tell we're talking about them.
Hey, ma'am. Ma'am, on your phone. No. Look, she's like, what? Who? No.
Oh, this guy's listening to something else. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back with Kelli Hart and Ocala Magazine Radio. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Everybody tells.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds and some intervals of sun today with a high of 70 to 74. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. There may be a shower late tonight along the coast. Lows ranging from the mid and upper 50s inland to the mid 60s along the coast. Variable cloudiness, breezy and warm tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high 74 to 78. For Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, warm and humid with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, Kelli Hart is here. This segment is called Ocala Magazine Radio, and we had the most fun ad-libbed beginning, I think, of all time. So,
well, it was pretty important information.
It was important.
Very
especially playing with the people outside.
Well, and so now I want to talk about homelessness, and here's the deal. So for our December issue, we spent a little bit of time, one whole day actually, and then of course some other time investigating and researching the topic of homelessness in Ocala. But Chris, Jesse, and I went out and kind of canvassed certain areas in town and started talking to homeless people because it's something that is near and dear to us for personal reasons. And we thought this is a great opportunity, especially at Christmas time when people are more apt to be a little bit compassionate and more open-minded about the idea of giving. And we wanted to kind of focus on that. So I've written a feature that will be in the December issue on homelessness in Ocala, and we talked to some of the shelters and we talked to homeless people and got a much better idea of what homelessness actually is. And typically we would wait until the story comes out to talk about those features, and of course I'm not going to give away exactly what the article is about, but I thought, why wait until December to talk about something that is such an issue now, especially with the cold weather. Yeah. So that has been such a big issue. So as we've gone out and talked to people, it has just been, there's been such a residual effect in talking to people because, like, for example, last night, on Mondays and Thursdays, some church groups get together and they feed the homeless and hungry downtown next to the courthouse. Right. And through my connections in this story, I got invited to go last night. So Lily and I went to help feed them. And it was so awesome because, well, first of all, when I left there, I thought, this is the happiest group of people. Now, you would think they would be angry and grumpy and miserable, and they just weren't. I mean, they were joking, and it was wonderful. I mean, they were so grateful and happy, and it just really,
that's cool.
Every time you do something like that, you leave I mean, you're giving to them, but man, you're really giving something to yourself because you take something away. And one of the gentlemen was someone that we had talked to the day that we went out, and he was like, "Hey, you're the Ocala magazine lady."
Oh, wow.
And I had seen him once before too, after that downtown, and he said, "Oh, the Ocala magazine lady." And I'm like, "Well, my name is Kelly, but so whatever." But it's so nice to make that connection with our community because that's the whole purpose. I mean, it is. I would much rather someone see me out doing something wonderful and good and connect it with the magazine versus just connecting it with me as the person. And we have gotten so much information, and I have written and rewritten and reworked this feature, and I could probably do that a million more times because it's such an important topic that as the writer you think, am I leaving something out? Am I going to convince this reader when they're done to do something, whether it's on a grand scale or minimal, even if it's just, if you're a faith-based person, even just praying for these people, am I going to move the reader to action? And so we've worked it and reworked it, and I didn't want to wait until December to bring the topic up because with Thanksgiving being next week and with it being very cold some evenings, I just want people to be aware of what is going on in Ocala and the idea of the stereotypical homeless person, maybe the crazy guy that's dirty and he has the beard and he walks around talking to himself. Are those cases out there? Sure. There are some not homeless people that are that way.
Sure.
So unfortunately, we do have a stereotype, and that's kind of what we wanted to do with the purpose of the layout and the feature was to break the stereotype and remind people that a lot of these people that are being fed and in shelters that are homeless by definition are not mental. They're not crazy. They're not dirty. They're not violent. They're not what a stereotypical homeless person may be in people's minds. They're the single mom that lost her job, didn't have enough saved up because she's paycheck to paycheck. She's got 2 kids that she's taking care of, and what does she do? She doesn't have next month's rent. And maybe you can string a landlord along a month or 2, but typically you got to go. And so then where do you go? You go to a shelter. And it's such a snowball effect in what is happening with people that are in shelters. They're those that are out trying to find a job. The shelter says at 5 a.m., see ya. You need to be out. You need to go looking for a job. Well, at 5 a.m., where are you going to go to look for a job? You're probably going to have to wait till 8 or 9 in the morning. Now you're just stuck somewhere cold, and kind of waiting. And let's say you get an interview and they say, okay, we'll give you a call. Where are they going to call? Or what's your physical address, for your application? Well, I don't have a physical address, and a lot of these people don't have IDs. And so it's just such a snowball effect that when I hear people say, I don't understand it, just get a job. And I've said that before. I'm like, I don't understand. There's so many opportunities for jobs, even if it's just,
I know. And this is not for all of them, but there are some that does apply to,
Right.
I always say the old, that's a cliche, but it's a beautiful one. There, but by the grace of God go I. That's me.
Yep.
That's if it wasn't for the grace of God, that would be me.
Sure.
And the grace of God might make that happen for me. You never know.
You don't ever know. And I think that's why it's so important that when you're at the top of your game, per se, that you still are out doing and helping, because you never know when you might be the person that needs it. And that's why you should never be stingy and never take for granted those things, because things can change. You could get ill and have medical bills that far surpass your income, and the next thing you know, you're in need of food. Maybe you have shelter, but then can't afford your electric, so you're in your home with no water. And so many things can happen, and I think that's why it's so important to talk about topics such as this.
Absolutely.
Are they a little taboo? Yes. And can we say all homeless people or all anything?
Can't say. There's no blanket statement.
That. No. So what we're doing is we're trying to give a general idea, and it's a really powerful topic, and there's so much we've learned. And I thought, my goodness, I've been working with the homeless now for 4 years on Christmas Day, and still I was just totally unaware of some of the things that I've learned just in the last few months.
Jesus is, I'm not trying to get religious on you in any way, but it's his teachings are such an important part of me, whether you consider it religious or just simply words of wisdom. I mean, when he's telling, and I can never relate stories as well as like real Bible experts.
Sure.
But there's that story where the poor woman puts a penny in the pot, and he's telling the Pharisees or whatever, she gave more than you.
She gave more than you,
which is absolutely true, and I love that, because it means when you go to the store and they say, would you like to give an extra $1 for whatever they're collecting? Oh, sure, no problem. You do it all year long, and most people do this. And if I could just say one more thing. When Robin and I were busking for the Literacy Council, do you know who gave us the dollars? It was people who looked like they couldn't afford to.
Right.
That's the amazing thing.
And they probably couldn't afford to.
Yeah. So they give us $1, and I feel like saying, why don't you keep this?
Right. One of the most powerful quotes that I got was from a husband and wife. They have 3 children. They're homeless. And they didn't even want to identify themselves simply because they're sleeping in places that are otherwise illegal. They violate the city ordinance on what is legal. And so they were really protective, obviously, of their children especially. But they did share a lot of information. And he said something right along with those lines. And what he said was, the people that have more than enough are least likely to help. It's the people that have barely enough to get by, that have either been through the struggle themselves, or maybe are one step away, that can better relate to it, that understand just what $1 difference can make. People with lots and lots of money, I don't really think they understand the difference.
$1.
No.
Prince
$1.
William, what does he
Here's
know?
$1. Here's $1. I'm going to make a football, and but the people that maybe that $1 is the difference between being able to buy that meal or not, better understand it. And so when he said that, I thought, my goodness, that is such a testament of people who, the haves and the have-nots, and the difference that people can make. And so the moral of the story, of course, and we look forward to it coming out in December, but with the holidays being here, I felt like I really need to just go ahead and talk about it now, because I want people to start now thinking about people that when it's cold at night and we get out of our car and we run into our homes because we're like, oh gosh, it's so cold. We get inside and we can take off these layers of coats. There are people that there is no escape.
They don't have anything.
There is no escape from the cold. And we're talking children, tiny little children that are helpless. I mean, they can't do anything beyond what their parents can afford to do for them. So, it doesn't have to be grand. It could be something as small as look in your closet and pull out a coat that you really just don't wear a lot. Maybe it's out of style, or it has a little tear in the elbow or something. I mean, if it's sitting in your closet, it could
not
be on
being worn.
back.
Somebody else could wear it.
Absolutely. And so just to be motivated to do what you can. I mean, it's a sad, sad thing, and we wish that we could just solve the issue, and we never will. It will never be solved, completely and totally.
We hope one day it will, right?
Well, we hope. We hope. But we also
yeah.
have learned that there are people who are making the choice to be homeless. This is kind of a new trend amongst the youth. Salvation Army is waiting.
Yeah.
We interviewed the Salvation Army.
There's a guy that helps out a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We sat down with Alice at the Salvation Army, and she gave us a lot of information.
Wow.
And we're grateful for
I like that red tie, by the way. That bow tie. That's nice. Sparkly.
We're grateful for the resources that we have and the time they spent with us as well. But it's just one of those things that we could talk about it all day long, and it's just near and dear to my heart. And so we hope that when it comes out in December, it conveys exactly the message that we're trying to send.
Well, once again, you've touched us in more than one way. And when the homeless gentleman who recognized you from the magazine did so, and you were kind of like, well, that puts my whatever good I'm doing somehow associated with the magazine. It is true. I mean, you make the magazine in part. I mean, you're part of a bigger picture, obviously, but you're also you, and you're doing some wonderful things.
Well, I am me, but I'm also part of the magazine, and we want people to understand the magazine is a business, yes, but it is so much more than that. I mean, we want the magazine to be so much more than just the pages of what we write.
Yeah,
so
it's
we're out there. We're trying.
Hey, almost all successful businesses are that way. That's what I think.
We are a small army, but we can do very big things, no doubt.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us, and go get a copy of the magazine.
Yes, absolutely, and like us on Facebook.
All right, we'll be right back. Thank you, Kelly. This is The Source.
Why don't you love me like I know you could?
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. House Speaker John Boehner blasting the president's actions the morning after he laid out his plan to reform immigration using executive action.
The president has taken actions that he